Hello, good morning. Today I'm going to present my research paper. It's about the indicators that influence employers in hiring person with disabilities. So based on the Malaysia Persons with Disability Act of 2008, 8658, a person with disability include those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments, which is interaction with various barriers may hinder their full and effective participation in society. According to the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, these PWDs are categorized into 7 types of disabilities, namely hearing impairment, vision impairment, speech impairment, learning disabilities, physical disabilities, mental and multiple disabilities. So the issue is person with disability always encounter the daily barriers not only to their participation in society but also in terms of employment issues. So employment is critical and vital for every individual, including PWDs. Through employment, one can earn a livelihood, enjoy social contact, and gain self-esteem. An issue on the employment among PWDs are still not equally dealt with, even though these issues have been long. Participation of PWDs in the labor market is limited, most marginalized, and is still disadvantaged in a complex process and show a significant gap. And even though a number of studies indicated that PWDs are productive, reliable, hardworking, loyal, and have a positive characters, the reality shows that this group of people is not getting equal employment opportunities. So for the literature review, disability is a contested concept with different meanings in different communities. It may use to refer to physical or mental attributes that some institutions, particularly medicine, view as needing to be fixed. It may refer to limitation imposed on people by the constraint of the abuse society. They usually fall into one of the two categories. First category is a hereditary congenital. This is where a person have been born with a physical disability or developed one due to inherited genetic problem, has suffered in for injured at birth or has issue with their muscle. An acquired physical disability could be due to a road traffic accident, workplace incident, via an infection or disease, or as a side effect of a medical condition such as stroke or cancer. So for the methodology, this research will conduct by using the qualitative methods, and this method is suitable to be applied in this research because this research need to explore and interview the respondent and get more feedback from the interview session. So semi-structured interviews are optimized for collecting data on an individual personal history, perspective, and experience, particularly when sensitive topics are being explored. Purposive sample sizes are often determined by theoretical saturation. Purposive sampling is therefore more successful when the data review and analysis are done on conjunction with data collection. So data triangulation also will be used to validate the reliability. So there are 36 respondents have been interviewed to obtain the data. There is no specific number to respondent as long as the data is saturated, means the same answer is repeated by the few respondents. And the respondent were chosen from the hotel management that involved in hiring people with disabilities. So for the finding one, this research finding is about the meaning of PWDs. There are 36 respondents that have been interviewed, and the respondent through thought and understanding are gathered and then collected as a data defines the meaning of the PWDs. So the majority of the respondents stated that the PWDs is an individual that is blind by means of the state or condition of being unable to see because of injury, disease, or congenital condition. A mute individual mute is inability to speak, often caused by the speech disorder or surgery. Also, a deaf individual, it is an inability to comprehend verbal language to an inability to hear categorized deafness. Other than the blind, mute and deaf are respondents also mentioned about physical handicap and mental disability such as autism and Down syndrome. The definition of physical handicap is loss of failure to develop specific bodily function or functions, whether the movement, sensation, coordination, or speech, by excluding the mental impairment or disability. The meaning of the mental disability is a condition that limits to person's intellectual capacity, resulting directly or indirectly from injury to the brain of the abnormal neurological. development. For example, autism mental condition present from the early childhood categorized by great difficulty in communicating and forming relationship with other people, and is using the forming relationship with other people and in using language and abstract concept. So for the finding to this research finding is about the indicator that the employer emphasized when hiring PWD in their organization. There are 10 indicators have been found after the data clustering. The indicators rank by the following. So number one is types of disability. Number two is communication. Number three is mental strength. Number four is ability to learn. And number five, commitment. Number six, ability to handle technology. Number seven is adaptability. Eight is discipline. And nine is optimistic. And 10 is alertness. And 11 is intelligent. And 12 is working experience. So this research finding is about the acceptance level of respondents towards hiring PWDs in their organization. There are 36 respondents who have been interviewed, and the majority of the respondents willing to hire the PWD in their organization. Those the majority of the respondents agreed to allowing PWD to work in their organization with the reason that support their point of view regarding the capability of PWD, as quote in the caption answer by one of the respondents. He has seen a process of training that proves PWD are able to perform equally well and better than normal individuals. The respondent suggested it will create a positive impact on the organization if they hire PWD. This shows a win-win situation between both sides. The circumstance not only contribute to the PWD by raising the employment rate, it also give a positive impact on the hotel industry by adding the workforce to the organization. Implication of the study: the impact of our study kit had a huge impact on some parties. Among them is the welfare department. The welfare department will be more sensitive and emphasize on the welfare of the people with disability by prioritizing people with disability from all aspects, especially aspect of financial contribution and facilities such as wheelchair. In addition, the welfare department will conduct more frequent monitoring among people with disabilities. And limitation is there are some limitation involved several hotel industry and then appointment met a week before. It's very difficult to make an appointment because of crowded work schedule and business busyness of the hotel. The indicators should be tested after the indicators have been implemented in the hotel. Overall, for the conclusion, overall, though through respondent for the hotel, we find that some hotel industry accept disabled people to work in the hotel industry if they get the approval from the top. Hotel Ming Garden recommend that disabled people be given the opportunity to work because they are not very frequent in communicating with the customer, and they are able to do the rest of the work rather than the hotel, which requires sufficient energy to do the work. The statement is supported by training manager Hotel Ming Garden, Mr. Patro. However, differing opinions from the Maxis Resort Kampung say they are not ready to accept disabled people working on their rescheduling because it is difficult to give a direction. Thank you.